Hi, welcome to Baking with Marian, and oh yeah, I'm just so excited. Okay, yeah, I am excited. I love pumpkin cookies, and these are kinds that I can eat because of the diabetes. I have to use natural sugar, as many of you know. So natural sugar, meaning sugar from fruit, is what I'm able to do. Now, pumpkin cookies, today, that's what we're doing with whole wheat flour. I see all this over here, kind of, sort of. I actually pre-measured all of my ingredients. How many sets do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who has 4 sets of measuring spoons? Me, I guess. And then 2 sets, actually I think there's more, of measuring cups. Me, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I've got all of that, so I've got everything pre-measured. If you don't have your ingredients out and you want to follow along, you might want to get at least all your ingredients ready, even if you don't measure, and you may have to start and stop the video. I don't mean to be rushing, but you know, I've got a million things to do today. Okay, not quite so many. Anyway, right now we're baking. Alright, I've got several things that I want to do first. The recipe calls for softened butter, and I usually kind of sort of melt it. You don't have to melt it, as long as it's like been out of the refrigerator for a while, that can be softened. Or there's also a way to soften it in your microwave if you have a microwave. Like I said, I just throw it in my pan and I melt it-ish. I melt it all the way if I didn't notice that I had the stove on, okay? That's the problem. Now, this is half a cup. So 1 stick, isn't it lovely that they put half a cup? I love that. Just makes it so much easier. When I soften my butter too, I chunk it up. So I'll make about 4 or 5 slices, just because then it melts a little bit faster. So that's what I'm going to do. But if your butter is already softened, you so do not have to worry about this part as far as melting. All right, very good. Now the other thing that I have to do is I have some dates here. The recipe calls for medjool dates, and those are bigger and fatter, plumper. Just make sure that whatever dates you're using, they are already pitted or you've pitted them. I once made the mistake of throwing some dates in, Diglot dates that had the pit in them, and it was afterwards that I went, wait a minute, that sounds like a funny noise. Okay, it was with my processor. Okay, so what's the deal? Dates. I'm using more dates because I'm using the smaller dates. Those are Diglot dates. Diglot Noir. I'm probably pronouncing it totally wrong. Diglot? Diglot Noir. Probably still pronouncing it totally wrong. Anyway, I'm using more of those than I would like with the medjool, because the medjool are fatter. And we got to soften these. So I'm going to run my hot water tap, and I will get it to nice and steamy. And then I'll pour some in here so that it can be softening while I'm doing everything else. Okay, got it? Yeah. Okay, not quite hot. While I'm waiting for that to get hotter, I'm going to get my cookie sheet out and start greasing it up. You can use it. Oh, great. Okay, I'm going to cry because this was not supposed to happen. I was supposed to be all ready. I forgot that this is a new jar, and now I'm having to open it. I'm just going to cry. Okay, let's just go with the Diglot dates right quick. Diglot. Okay, there we go. I can't open my coconut oil right now, so I'm just going to get some oil. There we go. Pouring it on, and then I'll spread it around. Pour some drips right there. Woo, that made things easier. And of course, where do I have the paper towels? Way over there. Oh, I didn't. I did. You know how I said I had everything pre-measured? I just scooted my all of my measured out things over and spilled a little bit while I was at it. Don't do that either, guys. Sometimes it's just easier to measure one thing at a time. Throw it in your bowl. Okay, so this is going to wait over here, and I am turning on my oven to 350, right? Right, okay. I had to make sure. Okay, got that ready. Now, in this process, we are going to mix the dry ingredients separate from the wet ingredients. I'm going to put all of my dry ingredients in here, and then I'm going to put the wet ingredients in my food processor, because before I can, hold on, I'm going to get the right size container for this. Before I can mix all the wet ingredients, I also have to process the softened dates. Now, they've already got their water in them, and they're going to sit there for a little bit while I get everything else ready. Okay? And I also have my mixer. Now I have my processor. Here we go. What am I supposed to put in first? I don't know. I need my dry ingredients. That is 2 cups of whole wheat flour, not whole wheat flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and I have that right here. I got the soda and the baking powder right there. And then it says you can use 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, etc. and so forth. And what, half a teaspoon of cloves, right? Well, all you have to do is use pumpkin spice. Do you guys have pumpkin spice? You can use 3 tablespoons of pumpkin spice. 3 tablespoons is the same, 3 teaspoons of pumpkin spice. 3 teaspoons is the same thing as 1 tablespoon. So, I happen to have pumpkin pie spice, so I'm using my tablespoon. Boom, that's in. Yay! All right, what else do I need that's dry ingredients? I need my teaspoon of salt. Ooh, there we go, my teaspoon of salt. Okay, now these are all my dry ingredients, and I'm going to go ahead and mix them together. I know that it kind of sounds weird. What? You're mixing up dry ingredients? Yeah, because sometimes if you have your wet and your dry right away and you haven't mixed up your dry ingredients, then the wet may cause some things to clump together. And so, like, you don't want to taste a whole pumpkin cookie with tons of pumpkin pie spice because it got clumped together, right? Okay. So, put that to here. Now it's time for my wet ingredients. I know that my dates haven't been soaking for very long. Usually I like to do that so that they have at least 10-20 minutes. And sometimes if I know I'm going to make pumpkin cookies or something like that that has the dates, I might soften them overnight. But that's alright. I'm going to use them right now. They've been sitting. And so I just pull them out, I throw them in my food processor, and now my hand is all date watery. So I'll just bring the whole paper towel roll over here, and I can get them when I need them. Alright, so time to process the dates. Then I will throw the rest of the wet ingredients in here. It seems like every time I turn around, I'm saying A tongue twister. Throw the wet ingredients. That's it for the dates. Okay. Alrighty. Yep, that looks good. And I just heard the butter boiling. So apparently I melted the whole thing. And that is okay. So now it's wet ingredients. I got my dates in there. There is my teaspoon of vanilla. That's what spilled a little bit when I bumped all my spoons. Oh well. All right, very good. What else do I need? I need the butter that's over there. It's super hot. I'm going to kind of let it cool down a little. I'll get the rest of these taken care of, and then I'll bring the butter over. 1 can of pumpkin. And in that goes. Now, if you all have fresh pumpkin, by all means, cook that up, soften it up, use that. I don't know how. I mean, I've done it once or twice, but I didn't want to look it up again. So if you have fresh pumpkin, you know, boil it up, smash it up. I don't know how much translates to 1 can from the fresh. So fake it. Just see what happens. You need about 15 ounces of that pumpkin. Pureed pumpkin. Are y'all growing pumpkins? I've heard some people are growing pumpkins. I've got little white ones. I think they're decorative little pumpkins. I'd forgotten I planted them until they started showing up. So there's that. Okay. What else do I need? I need 2 eggs. Ooh, one-handed. Sometimes it works and sometimes it just does not. Kind of like opening a new jar of coconut oil. Sometimes it works and sometimes it does not. All right. You ready? No. I don't want to do the hot butter just yet because I don't want it cooking the eggs even slightly. And it looks like what I want to do now is get my spatula. To push my food down a little bit. There we go. So that it comes off all chopped like it ought to. This is going to be so good. I'm so excited. I have to tell you, the Baking Club makes it fun for me too, because then I try recipes that I haven't made for a long time, or new recipes, or whatever. But it's kind of fun to look at some of the older recipes that I haven't done for a long time and haven't made pumpkin cookies for a while. I don't know when it was last, but that's all right. Okay. Sounds like my oven is now up to temperature. Got that in there. Mix it up again. Now I'm going to get all of this out and put it in with my dry ingredients. And I'm going to mix it really well and then put them in the pan. I hope I didn't forget anything. I think I got it all. Okay. Now I have my wet ingredients going into my dry ingredients. just so that you know, if you totally melt your butter like I do, it might change the consistency of your dough. In other words, the dough might seem a little more watery. And if you need a little more flour or whatever it is you're using, you could probably add just a little more if you want your cookies to be less watery. But I've always done it this way. Pretty sure I've always done it this way. Or almost always. I don't know now. Okay. And blend those two together. Alrighty, it looks like it's not going to be as watery as I thought. It's going to be just the right consistency for me. I like it this thick and thin. I don't know what to call it. It's not thin. But it's not super thick either, and we are so done. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's how I get the extra dough off. If I have a high enough bowl, then I'll slowly lift it up. Let the bigger stuff come off the bottom of the blades there. Get it a little bit faster, so it's flinging that dough out. I think sometimes my husband finds bits of dough someplace because I just get a little too excited and just go straight to fast. But, you know, you may not want to do that. Lick them if you want. Oh yeah, okay. One last thing I do, I don't know if you want to do this. Even though I just mixed it up, there might be stuff left on the sides that hasn't been mixed up well yet. So I just give it a little bit of a stir around the edges just to make sure. Okay, ready. Pan. Where's the pan? Alright. I take, you know, the kind of spoon you might have with cereal, and I just get it like that much. Okay, I am doing small pumpkin cookies. Small-ish, bite-sized. Ones that I could just pop the whole thing into my mouth. Helps me not to have such dirty fingers all the time, right? And I just do the one finger. I've washed my hands before I even started. I don't lick this finger until I'm all done, because then stuff gets all over. If I lick it, I have to go wash my hands again. So let's not do that. Now, one finger getting dirty is okay. Okay, I just saw myself make bigger and bigger cookies. So you know what? I'm afraid I'm going to have to make the bigger cookies just for fun. Still bite-sized, just kind of a big bite. I'm going to have to really open my mouth wide on this. Okay. Now I'm wondering if I should have greased 2 pans instead of just one. Oh, and if you have those silicone baking sheets, you can use those too instead of greasing your pan. Too bad I already told you to grease your pan, huh? I just don't know what you have at your house. And I really don't want to keep a list. I have to assume that some of these things, you know what you've got and know how to use them or get help using them. And I do hope your families are enjoying all of these recipes too. Okay. I have to say, I love doing this in columns of 5, so that each column has 5 cookies in it, because then when I wonder how many do I really have, I can just count by 5s. Way easy. But I'm looking at all of this pumpkin dough that's left. There we go. And I'm thinking I don't have enough room, so I might slide these ones down a little bit. I'm going to have to go with 6 cookies per row. Alrighty. Okay. Putting in my 6 cookie per row. There is so much math in baking, isn't there? Half a cup, 1 cup, so those are measures. How many cookies on the cookie tray? Oh, that's a fat boy. That can't go there. Okay, that's going to have to go up here. So I need small ones in between here, which is just fine. And I'm going to have to push those a little bit up as well. There we go. Playing with our food. That's what we're doing. Okay. And that one. Okay. And this one. There we go. Those fit. Alright, now let's get back to making the top of this row. Now on the bottom of the recipe, I mentioned eating them with coconut cream. I should say coconut whipped cream. I actually don't whip it usually because it comes out so nice and creamy anyway. And I use coconut milk, and I put that in the fridge. For a few hours, or well, actually I have one sitting in the fridge that's been there for several days because we use it a lot. Anyway, once we're ready to use the coconut cream, okay, the coconut milk, once it's been fridged, the cream has gone up to the top. Oh boy, that one is a really big one. That may have to be 2 bites. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to leave this for later. In the meantime, I'm going to put these in the oven. Okay, and now I'm going to lick my finger. And now since I licked my finger, I can't give these to anybody but, you know, me. Alright. We're going to set the timer. I'm going to go for 15 minutes because that's usually how long it works for me. But just check them now and then after 15 minutes or right before, especially if you smell stuff that's smelling a little bit done. That's when to check them too. So 15 minutes. Okay. That's going. Now, let me show you the coconut cream right quick. Okay, there we go. There is the coconut milk. It's just coconut milk. That's all it is. I once bought a can of coconut cream from someplace. It doesn't do the same thing. Oh, great. There we go. I thought, oh man, anything with coconut is not going to work for me today or whatever. And sometimes I forget. These cans tend to need to be opened from the bottom sometimes. Ah, there we go. I think I got it. Or not. Okay, let's see if it'll open for me. Of course not. My can opener has these two little grippers for taking the lid off. It makes things handy, unless for some unknown reason the can opener itself did not totally open the can. Okay, and I know the reason. Again, these cans, I don't think they were originally made to be opened on the top. I think they are put on in such a way that it's almost impossible. So you might want to take a look at your can and see if it would be easier on to open it from the bottom. Okay. All right. This is open enough. I'll use it as is. What I do is I get a container. Usually a container that's going to go right back into the fridge again. And I'm scooping up the stuff on top. Now down below there's definitely still some liquid, but I don't want that liquid. I might need it in a little while, but right now I am just scooping from the top. This one's a little more liquidy, but with the thickness of these, it's okay. That'll work just fine. Okay, I got a little more thickness down here. Ooh, how exciting. I haven't had this much cream in a while. Now, you'll see in there that there... No, you can't see in there. It's too dark. Okay. So the rest of this is pretty much just liquid. And I'll use that later for a smoothie, or what else do I use it for? Oh, for chia seed pudding, that kind of thing. Okay. So once I get this all out, I just kind of stir it up. And in here you can put vanilla, you can put cinnamon. Oh man, that sounds really good. Cinnamon. You know, I thought I had all of my ingredients out today. I guess not. There we go. It's just pumpkin and cinnamon, and pumpkin pie spice has cinnamon, and now my cream has cinnamon. Alrighty. You see how thick and yet not too thick it is? It's just right. A Goldilocks recipe. Okay. I've got, okay, it's kind of lumpy, and that's because some of the fat has gotten, kind of goes together, and that's okay. It's not going to taste like lumpy coconut oil. It's still coconut cream, and you didn't see me do that. And if I didn't want you to see me do that, I guess I should not be posting this on YouTube, right? That's alright. Everybody knows, and it's just for me and my husband, and it's fine. So I stir it up to try to get some of the lumps back out of it, and then I put the whole thing back in the fridge. Now I'll save this for later, just in case I need to add a little more to get it not, if it thickens up too much and I need to get it more like this. This is how I like it. You can whip it if you want. But as you know, I can be kind of a lazy cook, and this is the fastest I know how. So that's how I'm leaving it. All right, I've got 8 more minutes. So I'm gonna pause you, and as soon as those cookies are done, then I'll unpause you and we shall look at those cookies together. Okay, let's do that. The timer's about to go off. I only have this much left to put in a pan, so that's what I used. Now with so little, I wish I had just waited for the other pan to get done, so I don't have 2 pans to clean up like I have 2 of everything else over here to clean up. But that's all right, that's okay. All right, there we go. It's coming out. Okay, and of course my glasses fog up. Here we are. Oh, looks like I got a little, didn't mix that spot up enough. Okay, I'm gonna open it up. Oh, the bottom looks good. Gonna open it up even though I'm burning myself. Look at that. Okay, now I put these in, and you don't have to wait for those to be done. I just wanted to show you the cream. Okay. So the cream was in my fridge for just a little while. That's okay. And then when I put it back in, it'll be in there for longer. It's still nice and creamy. So that's what I do. I take my pumpkin cookie, put some cream on top. Try not to burn myself with the pumpkin cookie being straight out of the oven. So good. All right, y'all. Have fun. I hope you like the cookies. Talk to you later. Bye now. Hey, you. You know what you gotta do next. Clean up.
Here are some fun facts about pumpkins. Pumpkins originated in Central America. Pumpkins are actually a fruit and a squash. Early settlers made pumpkin pie by hollowing out a pumpkin, filling the shell with milk, honey, and spices, and baking it. The yellow-orange flowers that bloom on the pumpkin vine are edible. Illinois grows the most pumpkins, harvesting about 12,300 acres of pumpkins annually.